Parnham. I'm from the campaign group Reconnecting Oxford. Reconnecting Oxford was essentially formed to fight many of the proposals that the council is now proposing on the basis that we think often they're crazy. A little bit about me. I moved to Oxford about 3 years ago. I've never been out so many times whether my journey is essential. So my answer is pretty much in principle. Legal trade is my background, and now research-based, specialising in evidence-based policy. Clients include the Welsh Government and a legal regulator. My day job and transport policy are completely different because they work on evidence. These guys just make stuff up.
Can I just slow you down a little bit?
Yeah, sure.
The acoustics in here.
Yeah.
So
I'm not a petrol head. I don't drive 830 and I drive less than the average miles. I'm a keen active travel fan because I walk everywhere. Walking is very much underrepresented in this whole debate about active travel. Now, you guys have been asked how can you travel in Oxford in ways good for health and good for climate. My argument is remove the LTNs in Oxford because they produce worse health and climate outcomes. Common complaints about LTNs, they displace traffic from quiet streets onto busy main roads and push pollution and traffic onto those main roads. They also disrupt bus service, which is mainly on main roads, and they do not increase active travel, walking or cycling. The evidence I'm going to use is the council's own data. Bearing in mind that the LTNs were recommended for keeping based on this data, and you wonder how on earth they got to that decision. Also, air quality status reports and various freedom of information requests. So, do LTNs increase traffic on Oxford main roads? Yes, they do. What the council did in the study is they compared other roads which didn't have an LTN introduced to LTN boundary roads. You can see the roads at the bottom there, Oxford Road, Eaton Road, that kind of thing. What this data clearly shows is that once the LTNs went in, traffic on the main roads in the LTNs area went up quite a lot, and traffic in non-LTN areas did not go up at all. It did not go up above its historic 2019 level, so before the pandemic. This basically data shows before and after the pandemic. So basically, LTNs push traffic onto main roads. Some of the roads got massively more traffic. If you look at Oxford Road North, that's 134% of traffic in 2021 compared with 2019, before the pandemic. Now these equate to several extra thousand journeys per day on these roads, which do not occur in non-LTN areas. Other areas, Holloway North, Rosehill North, similar picture. More traffic on these main roads. Pollution levels. Pollution levels generally fell during the pandemic and haven't really recovered since. Basically, in 2021, pollution in non-LTN areas is 70% below it was before. In LTN areas, it's 8% below where it was before. In other words, LTNs artificially boost pollution levels. Yes, you heard that right, artificially boost pollution levels. Some areas it's only up by 4%, other areas, Canada, Oxford, it's up by 14% on the 2019 average. What a result! Holloway is an interesting road. Holloway has never breached the legal limits, which is 40 micrograms per cubic metre. In January of this year, I think it hit about 65. The legal limit is 40. It used to be about 37. 65, got to about 55 in February. That's the latest data available. If it continues on trend, this road will breach the legal limits for the first time only since LTNs were introduced. Wow! Peak time traffic went up by 21.7% after the LTNs were in. This is all council reports. This is all in their report. Bus companies are complaining about it. They're saying the only thing that's caused this, the only thing that's changed is the LTNs. You've seen recently in East Oxford the same picture. Traffic delays, buses running late, since the LTNs went in. Wow! So, did it make any difference to active travel? Answer, no. This is walking measurements before the pandemic in 2019, more or less after the pandemic in 2021. The blue line, the lower line, is the after figure. Walking went down after the LTNs were introduced. Cycling, same picture. Cycling went down after the LTNs were introduced. This is Rymer's Lane, for example. You'd think it's a road which people would kind of use willingly. Didn't happen. Cycling went down, unlike other areas. So, in summary, my position is Oxford County Council should scrap the recently introduced LTNs. They are bad for health, they are bad for climate, and actively make many people's lives worse. LTNs also noticeably do not improve active travel, according to the council's own data, which they publish. So that's one of our objectives. They are failing in subjectives, therefore they should be scrapped. Thank you.